Oh, and we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto episode 1234. That's right, 1234 lucky numbers this weekend for the lottery. Oh man, today is Friday, June 21st, 2024, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between community and crypto most days, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And today is an FBF, but today is going to be a short show. A couple of quick announcements. Today is going to be a short show. I will not be here Monday, and depending on the news cycle, I may not come back until Friday. I'm going to be doing some running around on Monday, running around this weekend. And to be honest, it looks like I saw an article come out today talking about how the crypto market may be going sideways for the next 6 months, or it's going to happen. It's been happening for 6 months. Regardless, the sideways action is definitely happening, and that's okay because it's still lining up for the dates of when we're really going to explode, and that's going to be toward next year, end of this year and next year for sure. So all is good in the land. Top stories today: Ether and altcoin price outlook positive after SEC drops investigation. Solana ETF in the works. 3IQ files for new ETP in Canada. Marathon's BTC mining is heating an entire town in Finland. And Winklevoss twins pledge $2 million for Trump, claiming Biden waged war on crypto. Oh my goodness. Winklevoss twins said, I want it to be known who we riding with this go round. Hey, and at the very least, shout out to them and whoever else, whoever supports whoever, to put their money where their mouth is, to actually take action, right? They're not just going to tweet you to death. They say, you know what? Here goes some paper. Let's make this thing happen. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and look at these prices on the day. Wow. Fear and greed index is low. We'll get to that. Bitcoin is at $63,596. You see it bounce around $63,620, down 2.09%. Ethereum's at $3,473. Really going sideways, honestly, down 1.19%. BNB at number 4 at $579, down 2.77%. Number 8, Dogecoin at 12 cents, down 1.91%. Toncoin at number 9, $7.14, down 0.38%. And number 10, Cardano at 37 cents, down 2%. As always, if some of these are your favorite tokens, this is a time to get them at discount. I think we'll have further moments to do it, but not many. I mean, you're still really playing with fire between now and, again, I would say for sure the holiday season, November and December. So that gives us what, June is almost over, but July, August, September, October. So about 4 to 5 more months of sideways action, or slowly dipping or slowly bouncing up, but more or less sideways action. What's really interesting here is that fear and greed index. Fear and greed index is at 52. Once again, it should actually be higher now that the prices are dropping. This is the time to buy your tokens. But that's super low. It looks like the trending tokens are layer 0, of course, ZRO. Some of the background on that, it was supposed, I guess people were saying it was an airdrop. People are saying it's not an airdrop. The price dipped 17%. Even if it was an airdrop, and I've only glanced at it, I've been running around, but even if it were an airdrop, all right, whoa, it looks like the price is down 19.55%. Excuse me. Even if it were an airdrop, the price usually dips at the beginning anyway because people get it and they sell it off or they swap it out for something different. So that's normal anyway. Super Trump is also trending. We said that would happen in GG. And then, or I think Jake Fever, shout out to you. You said that would happen. Recently added Meme Cup 360 no scope insta swap. I don't even know. That's too many words. And then golf is boring. Hilarious. Again, fear and greed index at 52. Interesting. Bitcoin dominance is at a 54%, full 54, and Ethereum dominance has shot up, which we're about to segue into now that it looks like the SEC has BlackRock has officially called the dogs off of Ethereum. So we'll get more into that. Of course, really quick, let me bring up the chat, give some quick shout outs, see what's going on. What up, though? Live Hunt Game, Patrick Walter, Memories of Mike, BK Crypto, Nerd Up Marv, Miriam, Hyben. Yes, buy the dip, you already know. Today is quadruple witching day, Hyben said, and it's also show episode 1234. And I'm also going to Vegas, baby. All right, let's just put some money on the table with these numbers now. Wisdom Bars, Enzo, Dino ID, JB. Casper, what's going on? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Like I said, I'm running this weekend today. So let's just get straight to it. First and foremost, nothing to worry, no need to fear. The market is going sideways. We might get a little dip, a little bit of turbulence. That's before we take off going into 2025. So no big deal there. But if you're one of the people who enjoy looking at the micro instead of the macro, then I understand for some people this could be considered volatile, or you're looking to do whatever. So let's get into it. First and foremost, Ethereum is going sideways. That's actually a good thing, because usually when Bitcoin does whatever it does, it takes the entire market with it, outside of certain tokens having pumps from either straight up pump and dumps or fundamental or technical news, where it was just like, no, this coin has already been just like going through it. The technicals on to say is already like primed to bounce, regardless what Bitcoin is going to do, which is rare. Or it's like, no, they're having an event where they're a partnership, right? They have this new partnership with Amazon or Google or whoever else. So they're having Elon Musk or Mark Cuban come as a speaker. Like, okay, we're going to see that pump regardless of what Bitcoin does. But normally, when Bitcoin takes that nosedive, everything goes with it, including Ethereum. But as of now, as Bitcoin has slowly been, taking a few percentage points off here and there, Ethereum's actually been staying pretty sideways. When it was getting its pump as of recent, it was only going up to about $3,600, 35 and some change. And we're looking at 34 and some change right now. So it's doing a great job at maintaining that price point, even when it was going through all of this. Is it security? Is it not? We're still technically don't know if the ETF is going to pass. But with this news today, I mean, this is just looking fair and fair for course. Ether and altcoin price outlook positive after SEC drops investigation. The SEC has withdrawn. And by the way, this is like 5 or 10 minutes ago this story came out. So prices could start to reflect this here momentarily. Actually, let me bring up coin market cap in the background, because if you remember, everything's down a couple of percentage points. By the end of the show, we may see it start to bounce. Not today, tomorrow and through the weekend for sure. And that's if Bitcoin maintains. If Bitcoin still takes that nosedive, it's going to take it with it for now. But again, Ether and altcoin price outlook is looking good. The SEC has withdrawn the case to prove Ethereum is a security. Now that the waters have been cleared, what is ahead for Ether's price? I like this little background right here. I got to jock that, use that for a little background. Regulators have backed off Ether for now. I love that they put for now. I agree with that, which many observers say could at least give the asset room to grow. I won't say room to grow. It gives the asset a chance to get its derivatives off before it comes back around and say, well, we never said it wasn't a security. Now you got the derivatives. Same thing they did with Coinbase when they went public. We never said you guys were regulated or whatever. We just let you go public. On June 19, 2024, the United States SEC officially closes investigation into whether Ether should be classified as a security. Consensus lawyer Laura Bruckover said the crypto markets will see no more protestations from the SEC that Ethereum or ETH is a security. However, Carol Goforth, a professor at the University of Arkansas School of Law specializing in business associations and securities regulation, clarified to Cointelegraph that, quote, all the decision means is that at this time, the SEC will not be continuing its investigation. This is not a final determination, end quote. I believe that as well. Regardless, even if they were to actually, or is it regardless? I can never remember. Even if they were to put it into law and they were to say, right now, we're going to put it in the writing in the law, Ethereum is not a security. It still doesn't matter. Like, once again, the federal government we're dealing with, they have a 100-year plan. They're looking long term. So what this administration or this chairman or this whoever at this moment said that, hey, this is not a security. In 5 or 10 years, whoever's in charge, whoever holds those seats and hold those keys and has the legislation going one way and get constituents to believe in whatever, or just has the power to write something on the line, that's the way it's going to go. We've seen that already happen in this space when it comes to regulations as a whole. So I think that's par for course. We should already know to expect, regardless of what's being said here, this isn't the final decision. All right. But on the flip side, the good news is they are putting the pause button on the pressure to Ethereum. The full court press is stopping right now. Maybe we'll get a more relaxed defense from the SEC and the federal government, where maybe they're just like, don't go crazy with the lending programs again, the staking programs. But for the most part, we want Ethereum to have a safe flight home to ETF. After they get the ETFs and they make that money the same way they just did with Bitcoin, and then it trailed off. We got to see next week what this week's ETFs were, but it doesn't look like they were good so far. But after they make that initial money and make those initial flips, because you remember, these same people have stock in CoinDesk, or not CoinDesk. What am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about right now? Coin is the stock name. Coinbase. These same people have stock in Coinbase. I'm like, how come I can't think of it right now? These same people have stock in Coinbase. When I say these same people, these institutions. So the BlackRocks of the world, the Fidelities, the same people who are starting the Bitcoin ETFs and going for the Ethereum ETFs, they also have capital and stock like Coinbase and other stocks of the sort. So it's like, hey, you can get the ETF going where you make cash money on a Bitcoin. You make the derivative money on it. And then on the actual crypto side, you can be invested in these companies where you're bringing in more cash through, through stock valuations. So it's a win-win on them. Makes perfect sense. But for us, we can take advantage of it again. I saw Cointelegraph have an article come out today about how to leverage trade or margin trade or whatever. And it's like, these are the moments you can take advantage, because here in the next few weeks to months, it looks as though Ethereum may get that ETF. So it's looking good. It's looking good. S1 Dubs said late May to beginning of July is usually a pullback during the bull cycle. Remember all the hype about the Wyckoff distribution play? It was referring to this June pullback. There it is. Okay, there we go right now then. Let's see what else is going on with this article. Consensus believes the SEC's withdrawal from its investigation of Ethereum has removed a significant burden that threatened the network's survival. You can check out their tweet there. Again, this is good right now. Ethereum's already been holding up, bouncing around 1 or 2%. That's really good when you've seen Bitcoin now in the last few days dip down 5 to 7%. So to see Ethereum still bounce around at 1 or 2%, they're in great shape right there. So shout out to Ether. And with that being said, whoo, my goodness, the craziness in the world. This is how it starts. It all starts with a dream, a narrative, a story. It's like the game back in the day when it's like about putting the idea on someone's head. You all know what I'm talking about, right? It's almost like, are you hungry? It's like, no. Like, why are you hungry? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, you should have said you're hungry. Like, okay. We know, or we're starting to think and analyze that there will be altcoin ETFs. Like I said, I think there are going to be as many as can be, hundreds and thousands or whatever. It might actually turn into like a penny type of market for altcoin ETFs when it's all said and done. But at least in the short term, they're definitely going to get these top 10 in if they can. With that being said, Solana is a very attractive one. Anything with VC funds, big communities behind it, things of that sort, you can kind of expect that to happen. But the main thing about getting it in is like, you just don't apply for it. Like, you gotta grease the wheels, the public wheels as well, the perception of it, and who all wants it, the stakeholders and constituents of these regulators and politicians and so on and so forth. One way to do that is just to start introducing things, just to start submitting things. Whether you get it or not is out there on the floor officially. So everybody's already speculated about Solana ETFs and things of that coming. But kind of like the Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin ETF, I think it was first kind of mentioned in 2013, 2014. So, it took 8, 9, whatever years off the top of my head. This one, the rest, of course, won't take as much as long since the first one's already through the door. But when you are looking at Solana or Cardano ETF or a Dogecoin ETF or any of these other ETFs, the first step you have to take is just to introduce it into the public perception, to everyone's brain out there. So one of the best ways to do it is just to apply, right? Who knows if you get it or not? Who cares if you get it? It's officially on record that we're trying to make this thing happen. So the Solana product, KSOL, seeks to provide shareholders with staking yield accrued from the Solana network. This is 3iQ that files for a new ETP in Canada. But again, it takes baby steps. You maybe don't get the ETF first, you get the ETP, in Canada, you get something else in another state, but now you actually have Solana derivatives. That's the big thing. It doesn't matter if it's the ETP or ETF or however you're going to break it down. The fact that you have a Solana derivative is enough to get the ball rolling everywhere else. So crazy news. This is going to kind of set precedent here in North America, possibly. Digital asset manager 3iQ has filed for a Solana exchange traded product listing on Canada's Toronto Stock Exchange, a North American first if approved, the firm claims. TSE. It's funny, I didn't even read that. I haven't read this article yet, and I already said that. We have submitted a preliminary prospectus for the Solana fund in Canada in relation to initial public offering. Yeah. All right. So I haven't read this article, but yeah, this is what you do. You do a prospectus, which is basically your financial. It's basically your business plan for what your whatever your financial outlook would be for a Solana product of this type of ETP. So they're just doing a financial outlook, who they hope to serve, how they hope to serve it, price points, predictions, what could happen and when it can happen, who can win the elections, all those type of things. So this is great news. Though. Again, you have the literature for it now. So now, especially with the Ether ETF coming out, you can push this through to regulators, to courts, whatever else. And it's like, at the very least, you have to read it. Remember a few weeks ago when I was like, hey, I know how to fight the war. Like, I'll do hundreds of pages I'll write hundreds of pages of records and literature and submit it for official filings and make everyone go through it. Like, that's what lawyers would, like other companies would do to smaller companies, whatever. So this is kind of the same thing where it's just like, we're putting this in front of the government. We're putting this in front of people that we're trying to get this product started. And if you're going to tell us no, we want to know why. And at a time when they're explaining why to the Ethereum, hey, you guys aren't security. Hey, the time they're explaining why to Ripple, why we may not be suing you, or we are, how much. The time they're explaining why Bitcoin is being left alone. At the time they're explaining everything, this is the perfect time to launch a Solana type or any other type of product where you have a community behind it and actual capital. So shout out to the Canadians for getting that rolling. That should be pretty. Hey, shout out to you, S1 Dubs. Is that you behind this Solana ETP up there? Would you buy BlackRock stock right now? So I haven't looked at BlackRock stock before in general. I don't know anything if it's like at an all-time high or whatever, but what I will say is just knowing how long they've been in existence, how much assets under management, so on and so forth, like too big to fail type of deal. So if I were to buy BlackRock stock, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at it as like well, definitely would be a short-term investment, but I wouldn't even be looking at it as an investment really, as much as I would be a savings account almost. Like, it's because that would be about the same type of percentage gain you would see on a traditional savings account, right? Like a couple of percentage points if you're lucky. And again, just off the top of my head, imagining how they're probably moving is like 20%, 24, 25, 30% on the high end. And then on the low end, 2%. So I'll probably just look at it as a very good savings account because they'll definitely last through leaders, right? Who cares who's going to be the leader of whatever country or what's happening or what war is happening or what burns or what gets flooded. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like the BlackRock. It's like going to be like Chase. Hey, it is what it is. Chase is going to put that blue sign up no matter if it's who are the Christian killers. Who was the people killing for the Christians? I can't think of it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Chase is going to have that sign up no matter if it's them making sure we got Christianity spreading throughout, we got slavery going, if it's railroads here and there, if it's modern times, everybody's happy and singing. Doesn't matter. Chase is going to have that sign up. So I think BlackRock will be the same. That's my spiel on them. And that's me not even looking at like any type of background on them, like financial background. All right, but back to Bitcoin. Give a shout out to Marathon. Marathon's Bitcoin mining is heating an entire town in Finland. Selling excess heat from Bitcoin could be another financial lifeline for miners after the 2024 Bitcoin halving. If this is true, if this works, then this is amazing. Bitcoin mining is warming an entire town in Finland thanks to a new project by the world's largest Bitcoin mining company. Marathon Digital Holdings has launched a pilot project that uses the recycled heat from Bitcoin mining to warm the houses of over 11,000 residents. Holy smokes, 11,000 people. That's really good. Imagine a free heating bill. And I'm pretty sure, does it get cold in Finland? The 2 megawatt pilot project located in the Satakunta region was announced in a June 20X post in Finland. We launched a 2 megawatt pilot project to warm a community of 11,000 residents with recycled heat from digital asset computing. Now, just reading this, I will have to definitely do my due diligence because I wonder if this is like, again, I did PR, so I know how this goes. This is like, hold on. Good H2O me. From a PR standpoint, the way this is written, and as I had to throw my hat on, like technically you can give, like, let's say, I don't know all the energy and the whatever metrics, but let's just say you gave everyone 3 seconds of heat, right? So I don't, again, for people like me, this is a great X post and article if you didn't know better. Not saying that they're trying to do something shady or it's bad, but just from a PR standpoint, I know that you can write and say things like this, and if people don't know what you're talking about, technically you could be saying, hey, we gave 11,000 residents the option to get 3 seconds of heat if they were to sign up for it 6 months ago from a mail or email thing we sent. Like, and then this is the headline. So technically it would be true. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it was actual real heat, because if this works as it's being presented, in a positive way, then this could be truly life-changing for entire countries, especially when you talk about countries, cities, and states as well. You talk about Texas right now when they go through it through the wintertime. Michigan, Illinois, some of these places, New York, of course. If you can just heat things up from, well, New York will still be cold since Wall Street doesn't want that Bitcoin mining there, but everyone else will be warm. You get what I'm saying? So this Finland-based facility marks Marathon's first district heating-based pilot project in the Euro area. Can't speak for nothing. Marathon's new facility uses a method called district heating. Oh, okay. Which centrally heats the water and distributes it through an underground network of pipes to heat houses. That is pretty cool. Okay, so that's cool. So the whole town was built on type of pipes, and the pipes stayed warm. Like during the cooler months, the houses will stay warm. That would be cool. This could prove to be a future-proof method for heating homes, since Bitcoin mining rigs produce a significant amount of excess heat. Marathon, the world's largest Bitcoin mining firm, worth over $5.84 billion, which is 33% more compared to the second largest company, CleanSpark's $4.36 billion market cap, according to Coin market cap data. And one thing I would say, this reinforces the idea that miners want clean energy. They want renewable energy. They want to be environmentally friendly, primarily because it makes them more money, gets them more Bitcoin, makes them, it takes more money if they're wasting the electricity and all this other stuff. They're harming the environment. It will cost them more. It costs them less to actually keep that energy and to do things like this, to figure out how to renew it. So shout out to Marathon. Super cool. Hope it works as says. If anybody who's out there who knows about heating or electricity and cooling, let me know. Do these numbers add up? Is this some real heat? Did they put the heat to it? Let me know. I want to know, man. This is pretty cool. Dub proof, what's going on? Enzo said Finland always doing so. Okay, do we need to take a trip to Finland? I don't think I met anybody from Finland. Thank you, Kevin, the Crusaders. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Crusaders. All right. Had to do what you had to do. All right. Finland's gonna need that heat since they can no longer buy oil from Russia. And that's what I was actually thinking of when I was saying heat. Like, if this works and Russia gets their hands on this, woof. I mean, the amount of money and resources they'll actually save would be crazy. All right, last but not least, like I said, I got to run, but just wanted to keep everybody updated and abreasted. Is it abreasted or abreast on these common crypto and Bitcoin stories? Like I said, we're mostly going to be going sideways. So unless something major happens, I probably will not check back in until Wednesday or Friday. But last but not least, the Winklevoss twins said, can't take this no more. And I got to be honest, I don't know which way they swayed last election, but I will almost think they were kind of would kind of swing left as far as liberal, but I could definitely see where the conservative side, they're in Florida as well, things like that. So, but I don't know. I don't know regardless, but Winklevoss twins pledged $2 million for Trump, claiming Biden waged war on crypto. This I will agree with. And I won't say Biden, like Paul probably don't know nothing about it. I would say the Biden administration for sure. B, Like, look, to keep it real, to keep it all the way real, I can't even be mad at him because you're talking about this is game theory playing out. Like, let's keep it real. Politicians are just as much, if not more, as concerned with their careers than they are actually doing anything for us. You know, they like case in point is the election cycle. Like you have to spend a year almost on the election on campaigning. He's already campaigning. He's like, so you spend 3 years president, you spend 1 year campaigning. And to keep it real, that first year you really spend learning because this for many people is gonna be the first time you might have clearance and stuff. So it's like you're really working for 2 years for the American people, and the other 2 years is figuring out am I coming or going. Um, I say that to say, like, when it comes to whatever president, again, the federal government's the federal government. They want to lessen crypto and lessen Bitcoin and lessen anything that could threaten the dollar, especially where your constituents, the biggest ones, are on Wall Street. But from Biden's point of view, to win that next election, an easy layup, which is he's like, hey, I can reduce the national debt. And everybody's like, well, where are you going to get the money from? Again, you know what? You're right. Next week, I'll have the soundboard back. Lonzo from training day. Like, what you mean? Like, Lonzo's sitting there with the wise men. Like, they like, we don't get the money from. You know, the Russians, they want you, Lonzo. They don't care if you're a cop. Which, hey, you know, I got to owe one. I got to tax them. If I'm not around, hey, Biden's like, if I'm not around, who's gonna watch these crypto kids? All right, let's just tax them. You know, we won't miss nothing. Nothing's gonna happen, and that's essentially what's really happening. Like the government saying they're looking for ways they can get money to whatever reasons politics have, right? We're going to stay away from the political side and just look at what's happening. They are looking ways for accumulating money. I mean, Biden said himself, the administration said themselves that, hey, we're going to be looking at crypto and taxing crypto in order to knock down this national debt. We're the new kids on the block. We're the smallest community. I mean, hey, as a national government, you got to choose between the bankers who've been funding wars since funding wars, or you got to choose between this new internet software. And I'm thinking from these older, the older generations, or some of the people who have done things a certain way. They're like, look, I don't even know what this is right now. Like, I'm going with the bankers. All right. So it's really just picking sides. But with that being said, the Winklevoss twins may have a point as far as this specific president. Again, I think you're crazy to think even if Trump wins and he does many great things for Bitcoin, there won't be some like backdoor things at the end that's still gonna give federal government a ton of power over it. But Tyler Winklevoss claimed that anyone who disagreed that Donald Trump was the pro-crypto choice for the U.S. president was delusional. Now that statement I will agree with. If you had to say out of all the presidential candidates, who is the most pro crypto, I will say Donald Trump is the most pro crypto, and probably even more so now than ever before. And the reason why is because they're actually taking his money, right? They're taking shit from him. So now that he see how this works, but this is the biggest thing I think Trump learned through all this, which may be why he's really pro crypto. I think he's kind of trying, like I said, trying to hop on the bandwagon. But I think the real reason why he's probably more open to it than ever is because one of his sons or nephews or friends he already works with already gave him that flash drive or whatever with Bitcoin on. He was like, wait, what? And they're like, look, you're going to learn to use this. You know why? Because you got $40 million on there, buddy. I'll make sure you're okay. And the way his wheels are probably spinning, especially everything that happened after this last cycle of his presidency, talking about capital rise and everything, he may really be like, you know what? With enough Bitcoin, like they can never stop me, or I don't know, or I can stay free at the very least. Because at this point they're they're seizing things and trying to get money off them. So maybe he has saw the light now that it's actually happened. That does make people see the light. But I will agree, if you're just talking crypto choices, not who tweets what, who does, gives back from colleges or holidays. If you're just looking at crypto, clearly that is the better choice. I will say, from my experience, being under the Biden administration and working in this field, and then being under the Trump administration and working in this field, again, the biggest comparisons I can make is Biden wanted to know about $600 transactions, people. That's not a lot of money in this space. So it's definitely more invasive, and it definitely costs you more. But again, with Trump, from what I saw, was that there was just a we don't care. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to put these companies on blast, but some of the bigger companies out there and bigger platforms out there that do different businesses, right? And some do business in the crypto space or crypto adjacent space or whatever. or not even like crypto adjacent spaces. Let's say, for example, YouTube, whatever. And this isn't a YouTube example, but if it were YouTube and they say that what is it? Trump's an NFT maxi. If it were you, so I'm trying to see the best way to say it without throwing it all the way out there for a couple of companies. A couple of companies, when it comes to receiving the financial information, taxes, and all that stuff, some even the bigger companies are like, "Hey, if you're not doing whatever, we're not doing whatever." They believe me. I have gotten on the phone with customer service because I've been like, "Hey, I want these documents for my records," and some of these companies are like, "I mean, look." Unless you get audited, unless they reach out, like, do you really want the documents? Like, this has been there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm doing it because you're the big company. But if this is what you're pushing back to me, like, what's going on here? So this was happening under the Trump administration from various bigger companies. Under the Biden administration, that stopped. Like, oh my, not only did it stop, $200 transactions, they was like, no, we need to do paperwork on this. It was like, well, I don't like doing paperwork on $200 transactions. Come on. Like, it's barbers out here on YouTube and Instagram doing $200 cuts. This is crazy. To do a full transaction and paperwork as well, like for something that's quick, supposedly quick and smooth. So again, if you're just looking for a crypto president, I will say those were my experiences under the two from what I saw. Hey, everyone's teach his own though. Again, Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss have each pledged $1 million in Bitcoin toward the re-election of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Probably won't make a difference right now with all the stuff he's going through. Listen, just like companies like Ripple, shout out to American government. Gang did a good job. This isn't about actually arresting Trump or putting him in jail. It's literally the same thing they did with XRP. The same thing, the mafia example I always use is Sammy Grana Bull tells you how the regulators and everybody, how they work with regulators and what they do. This is about slowing you down. Take some money away, give you some distractions, mess up your family environment, give you some gray hairs, but don't give you a clear path to winning a clean election, whatever, as far as like an unbothered election. No, we want to make sure you're going to go crazy before you can run a real election, have a chance of winning this thing. Which is, again, I'm not even saying this is like a left versus right thing as far as Democratic versus Republican. They both would do it. This is an American thing. This is how we slow. I mean, we do it to everybody. This is what they do. We just did it to one of our own this time publicly. But my point is, since that's happening, I think this may be a little too late. This, like, you probably should have gave them this $1 million in Bitcoin before the trial type of deal. You get what I'm saying? Or during the trial when he might have been able to make some things shake. You know, maybe he could have gave a judge some Bitcoin. I don't know. But I don't know. I think it might be a little bit too late now. In a June 20 X post, the Winklevoss twins said they plan to vote for the prospective Republican Party candidate for U.S. president on November 5th, saying they would each send 15.47 Bitcoin, roughly $1 million at the time of publication, to his campaign. And this is November. Honestly, that could be a little bit more as well. Both brothers claimed that Trump was pro-Bitcoin and pro-crypto, and President Joe Biden had openly declared war against crypto while in office. This is true if you're looking from a crypto point of view. They explain the same thing. This is not even remotely open for debate. As they say, anyone who tells you otherwise severely misinformed, delusional, not telling the truth. It's time for the crypto army to send a message to Washington that attacking us is political suicide. Now, that I can't agree with and get behind. And also what I will say is that $1 million in political donations is a huge amount. That's a lot of money for a political donation. You got to remember, for politicians, they're supposed to, hold on, I got a big air quote that. Our politicians are supposed to be like normal people and making like thousands of dollars, but somehow they're worth hundreds of millions and millions. But $1 million is supposed to be a lot of donation money to them. It's not, again, for some of them somehow, but it is supposed to be a lot. So he's definitely speaking for the crypto community with that. Love him or hate him. I know everybody's, is definitely divided on both candidates. They're both, listen, we got to get a cutoff age. We have a minimum age. There must be a maximum age for sure. But who knows? Regardless, anything can happen. Can't wait to see what happens in November when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. Gotcha. That's what I want to know. And I definitely can't wait to see what's going to happen on Monday after we see what happens with Ethereum this weekend and everything else in the market. With that being said, smash that like and share, and I will see you all next week. We got some funny ones. I saw some funny ones. The cleanest dirty shirt wins. Who's still holding Hex and who's still holding XRP? I see Biden. I can't unsee it. You guys are funny. CZ donated $4 billion to the government. That is very true. Trump's and NFT maxi. The Trump NFTs. Listen, I'll say this: win or lose, you better capitalize off of all that Trump stuff on the blockchain ASAP this year. You have until the end of November or whenever election day is. I don't even know anymore. But you have until then to capitalize off of Trump stuff as far as crypto goes, and just listen. $5, $10 into some degen altcoins. Smash that like and share, and I'll see you all next.